In 2016, a series of satellite images shocked the internet. Sharp, geometric shapes rising from the Antarctic ice. Perfect triangles, their edges too straight to be natural, or were they? Today, we're diving into one of Antarctica's most persistent mysteries, the case of the ice pyramids. The images spread like wildfire. Ancient pyramids discovered in Antarctica, lost civilization found under the ice. The pictures seemed impossible to explain. Massive triangular formations, some reaching heights of over 3,000 feet, emerging from Earth's most isolated continent. But to understand what we're really looking at and why these formations keep fooling even careful observers, we need to start with three crucial pieces of this puzzle: Antarctica's hidden landscape, the way ice shapes mountains, and how satellite images can play tricks on our eyes. Let's look at what pyramid believers point to as their strongest evidence. First, there's the shape. These formations show near-perfect triangular faces, meeting at sharp angles that look eerily similar to the pyramids of Egypt and Mexico. Second, there's the size and spacing. The most famous of these pyramids appear in clusters, some seemingly aligned with each other, a pattern that feels too organized to be random. Third, there's the location. These structures are found in an area called Queen Maud Land, where other mysterious discoveries have sparked controversy before, including the Nazi expedition of 1938. And finally, there's the question of access. This region is remote, difficult to reach, and subject to various restrictions. To some, this suggests something's being hidden. But to crack this case, we need to understand how mountains form in Antarctica. And this is where it gets fascinating. What we're actually looking at are geological formations called nunataks, and they're completely natural. But the way they form is almost as incredible as the pyramid theory. Imagine three massive glaciers slowly carving away at a mountain from different sides. Over thousands of years, they act like giant sanders, wearing away the rock. But they don't wear it smooth. Instead, they create sharp, angular faces called arêtes. When three or more glaciers carve away at the same mountain from different directions, you get something special, a pyramidal peak, or horn. The most famous example isn't in Antarctica at all. It's the Matterhorn in Switzerland. The process is so consistent that it creates these seemingly artificial shapes naturally. And here's the kicker: Antarctica is the perfect environment for this to happen on a massive scale. Let's look at the evidence that shows these are natural formations. First, geological surveys. Teams have actually visited and studied these areas. The rocks show typical signs of glacial erosion, striations, polish, and the characteristic angular breaks of natural weathering. Second, we have radar data that shows these formations are connected to larger mountain ranges under the ice. They're not isolated structures, they're the tips of much larger geological systems. Third, when we look at high-resolution images from multiple angles, we can see the perfect geometry isn't so perfect after all. The faces are actually rough, irregular, and show natural fracture patterns. But here's something fascinating. These formations are special, just not in the way pyramid believers think. They're windows into Antarctica's past, revealing mountains that were formed millions of years ago, before the continent was covered in ice. So why do these mountains look so artificial in satellite images? This is where modern technology creates an ancient mystery. Satellite photos of Antarctica have three quirks that make natural formations look manufactured. First, there's the lighting. The sun hits Antarctica at extreme angles, creating sharp shadows that make rough surfaces look smooth and angular. Second, there's snow and ice coverage. The white surface creates extreme contrast, making edges appear sharper than they really are. Third, there's the resolution and processing of satellite images. When you're looking at something from hundreds of miles up, complex surfaces get simplified into geometric shapes. Look at how the same mountain can appear completely different depending on the season, sun angle, and type of imaging used. But there's something bigger here than just debunking a pyramid claim. Antarctica is full of genuine mysteries that are even more fascinating than hidden ancient structures. Under the ice, there are mountain ranges bigger than the Alps, completely hidden from view. There are lakes that haven't seen the surface for millions of years, possibly containing life forms we've never seen before. Right now, scientists are using radar and other technologies to map an entire continent hidden under ice, and what they're finding is stranger than fiction. The real story of Antarctica isn't about what ancient humans might have built there. It's about what Earth itself built over millions of years, and what it might still be hiding. So no, these aren't pyramids built by a lost civilization. There's something even more remarkable. They're evidence of how our planet can create seemingly impossible shapes through entirely natural processes. The next time you see a shocking claim about Antarctica, remember the pyramids. Remember how natural forces can create something that looks artificial. And remember that the real mysteries of this continent, the ones we're still working to solve, are even more fascinating than the myths. Because, in the end, the truth about Antarctica isn't hidden, it's frozen in plain sight, waiting for us to understand it. If you found this interesting, wait until you hear about what's actually under Antarctica's ice. Hit subscribe for our next video on Lake Vostok, a body of water sealed off for 15 million years, and what scientists think might be living in it. Leave a comment below with what Antarctic mystery you'd like us to explore next. Thanks for watching.